Now the T-Cuts go. Conway. Oh, that's a nice looking throw. Down the stretch, and that's a layout score. Has he kept control of it? He has, and it's on the grounds. We get it. They have a long way to go. And you have to say if you're making the turn over the Frisbee, as far down the field as possible is preferred. Fyshwick unit playing with a short roster this weekend. So they'll have plenty of game time. On the other side though, Hills bringing 22 this weekend. So plenty of Hills. Irish cross to Ironbark. Saw Shepherd just dropping that just off, and Hills settling into a zone. He's caught again. Irish soon bust out the scuba with the first throw of the game for him. Irish seeing plenty of it. Here's Mal Hingy. Fyshwick unit getting some momentum. Breaking the containment. Oh, and then there's just a throw that is rushed to the inside. Hills get another turn. They're walking back to the Frisbee. Across the field to Ironbark. Now here's Conway again. Conway's got some throws, so the deep cut comes. Conway instead comes underneath to Mitchell Chan. Daniel Bagonet. Oh, Hooper was in the area. Not expecting that. Show. Bring it to the line, so unit. Their chance and opportunity to make something. Gillett trying to play in that intermediate space and create something. Here's Shepherd. Gillett. Higgy finds Gillett with nice movement as he attacked up and through the cup. Hills wanting to go with the zone. Now the rush past, oh that's a hot one. Well caught in the end. So Fyshwick unit, they open the scoring and score first in this game.
Hills trying to get away. Fyshwick unit defense just to get some contain it back. So Hills being forced to reset and work through hands. Oh, and now that throw is close. Oh, that's some bid. You gotta love that. Gotta love that. Inside. Matthew won. A huge bid. Irish again. The defense. Hills sagging off the cutters. Here's Daniel Burstinghouse. Oh, that is some high release break by Hayden Irish. Here's Burstinghouse again. Oh, and Burstinghouse, a low one. Atienza goes back to Nguyen. Here's Lau. Harrison Kirk managing to get them away. Moxty. Moxty again. And now Harrison Kirk. And there's the Atienza layout score. A nice catch for Hills. So a little bit about these two teams. Two teams that are heading towards the Div 2 championships. Fyshwick unit, of course, the storied second team for Fyshwick United. Seen quite a few up-and-coming young guns play in for the unit over the years before eventually pulling on the United t-shirt. And well, Ironbark with the Hills Club, they've been around for some years now. Of course, the Hills Ultimate Frisbee League is, well, it's huge. Generally speaking, this Hills team has yet to really reach into the Division 1, the men's competition. A lot of their good players moving over to, well, it used to be bench, but Sunder as well. Khan, Hingy, now Irish. Burstinghouse. Hayden Irish trying to get into the cup to create an angle. Burstinghouse. Reaching, keeping it in. Irish. Ashik Khan. Hills have settled into a soft zone, and Fyshwick unit just working the open throw at the moment. Shell out on the inside. Oh, that's a really sharp one. Too big. Eugene Chen, the front of the stack. Cotter Rusman. Now Hooper. Alan Brody gets underneath. Chen was free deep. Higgy just playing soft on the mark. Makes Brody think twice about it. Here's Hooper. Brody. Now Cotter Rusman. Oh, into contact. And it looks like a foul is going to be called. I think Ashik Khan had no right to be there. Just on first look, as Eugene Chen cleared the space, we see the throw. Yeah, that's been created there by Ashik Khan. Coming in, Edward Jiang going back with the fly of the disc. Already established his direction. Fairly easy to see from over here. And it's, yeah, pretty clear-cut situation where you can't create contact. So, you can't run over there, create contact, and then call a foul. That's not how the game works. And I think someone from Fyshwick unit needs to be speaking up right now to let Ashik Khan know about just the angle that all the players were heading. Because it's hard to tell. When you're out there on the field, you're running around, hot, sweaty. Looks like this will be a contested call, but I mean, this is the part of spirit captains and also just spirit in general from your team is to help you out. You know, Ashik Khan is out there. He feels like a foul has been caused, and he's well within his rights to make that call. But then it's also on the team as well to help out each other. Someone else might have had a different and a better perspective. Cotter Rusman out to Alan Brody. It's going to fall to ground. A turnover. Irish, I'm going to see what kind of condition his rotator cuff is in. I think he's going to be throwing a lot of Frisbee this weekend. He gets up the line. Bursting House, nice movement. Gets into the cup. Ingy, the break. Now Bursting House. Good understanding at the moment for Fyshwick United. Good understanding of just keeping the disc moving, that against a zone there's no real out-and-out good spot to be. And that by making the cup readjust, making the zone move, they keep things in their favour. There's that nice move by Irish, just drifting across, getting inside the cup. Irish fitting one in there. And that's a score for Fyshwick unit. Easy early season tournament for these Div 2 teams. There's more offerings over the course of the season. Previously, there was only really one or two tournaments that a Div 2 team could really attend, because most of the tournaments aimed at Div 1 level. Now we've got quite a smorgasbord of different tournaments and activities that these Div 2 teams can attend. And I'm going to welcome back to the commentary John Greenfield. 2-1 Fyshwick unit. Up a break in this game, John.
Oh, surprised that they've been playing now for 20 minutes. We're at 2-1. So what's been the tail of the tape, Dan?
Couple of turnovers and both teams being forced into some ugly offensive situations where they're having to work it a long way down the field, and lots of passes. Well, as you well know, as a well-educated man, even if you throw 99% of your passes complete, well, on the 100th you're going to turn it over. So we have another foul call.
Yeah, and it's fine, of course, if you are confident in your resets. Oh,
as we say,
yeah,
even a 99%er sometimes numbers don't care and can work against you. Here's Ashik Khan. Oh, that's a turnover straight back to Hills. They applied enough pressure around the disc.
That's 2 up the lines in a row that have gone too far for the receiver.
Here's Tyrone Lau. That's Yenza. He scored that real specky. Oh, and then Lau. This is a game of 500, and then it's just snaffled. Joshua Emery does real well.
Josh Emery, way to get up. Really had no right to that disc. There were taller Fyshwick unit defenders descending upon this sky ball. The option was good. He sort of got around to have a shot at the fat side, but what he lacked was a blade. He needed to blade that with lots of power to hit his receiver there. Let's see it again. He manages to get his arms free on the break side, but then
as you
sends
say,
it to
John,
the 5th floor.
Yeah, as you say, it's just too flat, needed more angle, get it down faster. I think if there is a team that is really well known for that, it's the Japanese. They tend to throw really low throws, throws with a lot of angle to get it down fast.
Yeah,
Don't let it hang up in the air.
They've learnt from hard experience in so many world championships that sky balls rarely work in their favour, but they have the pace and the agility. So yes, they've made that their offence, and
it's about working to your strengths, isn't it? And I think at the moment, Hills, they need to realise that they've got 21 players here. Fyshwick unit, they've got 12. They need to realise that, okay, the zone is probably playing into their hands a little bit. We need to make them run. We need to get out there. We need to use our legs to try and create an advantage here, because at the moment, Hayden Irish, he's having a wonderful time back there. He's a great thrower, and by not putting him under, pressure directly, by having someone in his face marking him, it's allowing him just to kind of tootle around the field, noodle it around, and unit are in this game, at least offensively, I think, more than they really should be, John.
yeah. Oh, look, I call Hayden FedEx because he's just the great distributor, distributing packages around the world.
Just shipping it.
Yeah.
Here, there, and everywhere.
Oh, the no-look. Cheeky little unit.
So, Hayden Irish's first throw of the game was also a scuba, John. So just so that you're aware of the tail of the tape, no shortage of confidence from this young man.
No, and he's come... Oh, there it is. And he's come off a Div 2 win.
Oh, that's testing.
Oh!
Tasia.
He's come off a Div 2 win in New Zealand Nationals, which was covered by ULTI.TV, where he played that FedEx role to perfection, sealing the victory for the Gong team. I think it was a Gong team. They had some Gong players in it.
Oh, that's overdone. Again, enough pressure for Fyshwick unit. And Hayden Irish is going to walk up, and he's going to want to throw the goal here, I think.
All right, special delivery. Goes back to the distribution centre.
So, Gillett looking for Irish. There we go. Match defence.
Can I say, and this is what I'm seeing already in this game, is whoever can sort their resets out is going a long way to winning the game. And because we've seen a lot of failure of resets. in that case, he was too late on that reset. He had Hayden half a second earlier.
Yep. Here's Alan Brodie. Like the look of that young man. We'll come back to him. Oh, that is it. Speculative one that Carter Rusman climbs up there to save the offense. Here's Daniel Banganay. Around, and testing it again. Another turnover.
I would like to see next time the number 7 keep his eyes on his receiver. He sort of turned his whole head and just relied on the function of the throw rather than keeping an eye. What's my receiver doing? I'm adjusting it to that speed. Instead, he sort of laid his head back and just threw. He'll learn. These are all... It's amazing coming off a Div 1 game and then coming to Div 2. And the athleticism is all there, but just the 1%ers are missing. All right, Irish.
He comes, marked by Alan Brodie. And Brodie applying what he can. It looks like maybe more... Well, I thought for a moment they were going to assassinate Hayden Irish, and we'll come back to that thought because it might be a good idea if Hills are going to be determined to stick with his zone. Irish. Another package delivered on time. Oh, here's Ryan Cutter-Rusman, gets a block. Here's Richard Hooper, or Robert Hooper rather. And there's the goal to Alan Brodie. I love the look of this young man. He's a good size for an ultimate Frisbee player. He's got broad shoulders, looks athletic as well. I think we might be seeing a future talent in Alan Brodie.
Yep, I like that. Plenty of hops.
He looks like an ultimate Frisbee player.
He does. So that's 2 on the trot then for Hills. Hills Ironbark. So they must have had an amalgamation there at some stage.
Well, Ironbark was always loosely associated with Hills. It was always made up of players from Hills. It's just that I think over the years the Ironbark core have kind of we're all getting older, so they're passing out and they're doing other things, and so the players that are coming along they're really involved with the Hills Club, and I think that it seems like Ironbark has fully come into the fold with regards to their representation, and good to see, I think, because the Hills Club is one of the great clubs in Australia, has always been exceptionally well run. Simon Wood down there.
And Simon Farrow.
Simon Farrow.
Yeah, the Simons.
Yeah, two of the best administrators in Australia. And Hills has always been great. They run a great league out there and a couple of great tournaments. The Hills Hoist, well known in Australia, hat tournament that is run on grass, one of the very, very few grass hat tournaments.
Yeah, and it's just luck almost that it's not just the Woodies. I'm thinking of
Monchang, it's just a long and
M Goldstiver.
Yeah, the Goldstivers.
So they just had a concentration of organisers just to get this fertile area of Sydney going.
Irish. Oh, doesn't go to the long streaming Shellard. And now a turnover. Jordan King. So here comes Harrison Kirk, one of the captains. And Kirk, that's going to hang. Burst. Had it covered. Irish, Shellard. Irish sees it. He's going to launch it. And that's a pretty good throw. It's inside out. It's going to come back to Shellard, who climbed on up there. And there is going to be a foul call.
Ooh, that's spicy.
On Akash Sandula.
That was a couple of giraffes clashing in the end zone and falling down like newborn fawns.
I think
Foals.
Sunda.
Oh, I don't know about that one, Dan.
Look, it's speculative, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's no foul.
Yeah, I think
the presence of the defender there
Yeah.
Caused Shellard to go up early, and then he sort of fell into him.
Which, I mean, Shellard's within his right to go up at any point that he wants, but he got to realise that if by going up he's going to create contact, then it's kind of on him. You know, and if he's going to wear it, you know, you got to make the play. But if you don't make the play, like that was your choice there in going up early. I think Sundar was always under the disc.
Yeah, I think Sundar. In fact, Sundar, you could argue, kind of was just there, sort of misread it, ended up being a totem pole.
Yeah.
Upon which Shellard collapsed onto. So, okay, but Sundar, it looks like this is going to be no contest. It's foul, no contest. Well.
Yep, so Shellard will need to pick this up and bring this in from the goal line. I think Shellard just...
Okay, well, that's the beauty of the sport. They're both happy with the outcome. So
start counting, Akash Sundar. Some confusion over who's supposed to do what at what stage. Here's Khan. Khan goes back to Mile Hingy.
Good to see Mile out there with the Div 2 guys.
Oh, he's just such a great servant of this Fyshwick club. Ashik Khan gesturing, saying, I want it right. Here's Hingy. And Mile Hingy, I mean, there's just so many great stories in Australian Ultimate. I think we need to gas Mile up a little bit, because when he first started playing, he didn't really get picked. No one really picked him on a team, and, well, Mile, just being the, kind of the softly spoken and softly kind of person, he just kind of went away and he trained and he kept playing and he trained some more, and then all of a sudden people were like, who just made that play? And nobody realised and was able to put together, oh my God, that's Mile Hingy making layout blocks at head high. There is a really famous photo of him putting the chop on someone at Nationals. And Mile, he's just always been that softly, kind of just gone about his business. And from my mind, I think he's turned into a little bit of a legend of the Fyshwick club, just because of what he started with. He made the absolute most of his God-given talents, and he's just been a brilliant servant of this club. Yeah, and his superpower is his engine. He can run all day at a high pace, very similar to I-Beam's Christopher Hill. Run all day guys. He's not the tallest. He's not the fastest. But, boy, he can just keep running you into the ground. I remember there's again, we had a myth last game about Andrew Jackson's start to Ultimate Frisbee. Mile Hingy used to, here's the myth, he apparently, after training, would go hike up a mountain, Mount Brown or something, I think. Yeah, Black Mountain. He still does that. I follow him on Strava. So he still does that run. It's documented. Still running up mountains. Here's Tasia. Krishna Tasia finds some motion. Kota Rusman. The first one goes past. It floats enough for him to catch up. And now Krishna Tasia again. Daniel Banganay. Kota Rusman. Rusman. He's got it. And Daniel Banganay in the end zone. Hills. It's a nice offense. Now, they need to capture that point, put it onto their training videos. So this is how we want to play offense. I was a little bit worried because they were not looking early enough for the inboard pass after getting it on the far sideline. But once they got that break, they were able to flow break side right to the end zone. Well done, Hills Ironbark. That's how you should be playing offense all season. Unless you're playing Stout, which is who I'll be playing for this season. So there you go. So is Ryan Kota Rusman. Love what he was doing. He he got in there. He led. Yep, and got that width that you were talking back. Yeah, exactly. Back into the middle. And that's despite having a player out of position, standing near the end zone line that could have blown that play up. So Hills, Ironbark now on defence. And Ashik is another player here. Ashik Khan, he played Masters at the World Championships in Irvine, California in November, just last year, just recently. Did get a great job on the mixed team. So the Casaruis. So between him and he's a flashy player. He's got some really great throws, good coordination.
still can play a distributor role, but he's more your unconventional throws, get into unconventional space, create breaks kind of guy. And so it'd be interesting to see how those two work together with what looks like just some raw recruits, in the Fyshwick unit that are making their way through the ranks.
There was a preemptive apology from Mile Hingy in the Spirit discussion before the game where he said, look, we've got some really raw recruits. We've told them no contact at all under any circumstance. But he said, look, obviously they're new. They're not going to know how the game flows and they may create some dangerous spots. And he kind of said, look, we'll own that and we'll get ahead of it by having a chat about it now. And Hills were really receptive to that as well. They kind of said, look, thanks for telling us. And I managed to overhear part of the Hills huddle where they said, look, we're going to be really gracious today. We're going to have good spirit, just kind of be relaxed, know that you may cop some contact at some stage and just play on, basically.
Yeah.
So lovely to see that conversation ahead.
Yeah. And then go and smash opponents, like as soon as you're in there.
Well, so far it's been
clean.
It's been very nice and clean, and both teams kind of just playing some good frisbee. King, nice to go back.
Fascinating to watch this chemistry work between Khan and Irish. There's the FedEx.
Coda on the sideline goes back to Tim Gillett.
Almost blew up Irish's space there.
Irish goes the bladey throw to Khan. That's going to come down, and Khan, nice catch.
And that's the thing. We're just seeing the continuation of that chemistry. And in this case, Khan showing off his athleticism as a receiver. And again, troubles with the reset. He was a little bit late looking back at Irish. Irish sees what wasn't a lot of separation, trusting his fellow handler. And that was a really nice grab from Khan.
Yeah. Irish just, he's put that really deep. He's kind of reaching and putting it over the top. You can see the adjustment from Khan. He has to go left. And I think that is actually what created the space. We talk about colour-initiated throws and sometimes thrower-initiated throws. And there was a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B as Irish. I think if he threw it purely to where Khan was cutting, I think Atienza might have had it covered. But he's made an adjustment on the throw and dropped it into the bucket.
Yep. The other thing to watch with this chemistry that's going on between those two, when the pull went out, who was picking the disc up and centering it? That can be a bit of a
tell
of who's the senior handler, who's going to be the central handler. And it turned out being Irish. But I saw them sort of giving each other a high five and a bit of a smile, as if to say, well, that could have been either of us, But Irish taking that central handler role, which probably makes sense because Khan is actually very light on his feet and also a good cutter. So that would make sense.
As pundits, a lot of what we say can be untrue. Do you know the inside story to Hayden Irish and why he's in the orange and black rather than the red and the white for Wollongong? Has he moved?
I do not know, Dan. And I had a little quip with him as to because he was wearing his Wollongong shirt just before the game. So, we'll find out.
More to come there. Here's Ryan Coder. Rusman sees something. Oh, and that is a good throw. Alan Brodie underneath it.
Was that commentator's curse with a bit of delay?
Perhaps. Brodie goes with the big left paw. And it spins out of his grasp. So, unit.
And isn't Irish relishing the chance to play pretty much every point that he wants to play as well? He's backing up points here because they've got such a small line. But in his distributor role, he can kind of do that all day.
So long as he's got easy resets and doesn't have to work too hard to receive the recycled disc, you can kind of just play in that role very consistently. And if you have some good runners on defense, well, you can call some switches and get away with a low physical load so that you can play offense. Mile Hingy, but Conway sends it back.
Conway, the disruptor of that flow.
Eden Conway with a really nice looking rejection.
He's another rangy cat who looks like he could have a future ahead of him. Way to get up there.
Conway, one of the Spirit captains that was in the Spirit conversation. Oh, he's Ryan Carter-Rusman again. He's going to test it. This time it's going to hang in there. The tall timber of Gillett gets the block.
Yeah, they just went once to the well too many times.
Here's Gillett. Bring it in. Irish. Can't get the initial. Shellard goes inside. Big bid. Trying to catch that disc that was on the break side.
What do we think? Did he have a play on that?
Who knows? Sharp angle.
Yeah. All right, another chance here for Hills.
And Robert Hooper brings it up. Brody goes the first half. Oh, and Hooper, his hammer is just going to... It looked like it slipped out of the hand, John. It didn't look at all like it went the way he was directing it.
Can we get a message out to Hills? Let them know they're shooting downhill and downwind at the moment. Yeah, that's like the second, third that they've overshot down this direction. Meanwhile, which made Miles Huck a pretty good option because he had quite a bit of purchase on that, but just not enough for Conway to get his rangy arms up there.
I think Hingie made the right throw.
Oh, yeah, I don't mind it.
Low and flat.
Yeah.
You know, try and get it down the field quickly. And I think that's just one of those plays where Eden Conway did enough. Irish trying to establish a horizontal is Fyshwick unit. Hingie. Now to Gillett. Hingie's in a lot of space on the near side, but there's so many bodies around the disc. Conway gets that conversation.
Oh, okay. That's experience from Hayden.
Yeah, he knew.
He knew that wasn't a foul. He moved into the player, didn't call it. That's experience and good spirit.
Carter-Rusman. Oh, that disc. The wind has changed since since this morning and even since this game started. Here's Chen. The wind is starting to blow. Oh, and Carter-Rusman just throws it to Daniel Burstinghouse. Hayden Irish. High stall. Truder.
There's a Truder out there?
There is a Truder out there. A Simeon Truder.
Me.
I didn't get the opportunity to ask if he was any relation.
Yeah.
But I will endeavour to do that at halftime. Oh, and that's a tight one. Mile Hingie, though. Hingie now going to try the hammer that's going to sit up there.
Oh, Mile, come on, man. Preservation of greatness. That was a really good grab on Conway. They're having a bit of a laugh of it now. And then to serve up that pie at the end of it, that's super frustrating. Even though, yeah, and they were two tall dudes.
Oh, Hooper is going to throw it to the sideline. It might hang in or it might just always be dead. Eden Conway.
Yeah, I get the feeling that Hills, again, this is something they need to work on for their season, is their resets. And that throw is a result of the lack of confidence in their resets. That let's just get out of here. I'm looking at the percentages of us getting out of our own red zone on some tight, passes and resets. I don't like it, so I'm going to huck.
Hayden Irish will bring this in. And Irish is just going to go straight for the end zone. That's flat low, and that's on the spot. Fyshwick unit, they hit the lead.
Great throw from Hayden. I'm not sure how he was the receiver there was allowed the space. Let's have a look. We might get to see it on replay. But he was given the line there. Oh, yeah, he just got turned. The defender got turned around. That was beautifully constructed. Both thrower and receiver knew exactly what each other wanted there. And Irish delivered. What wasn't the easiest throw, upwind a bit. He had to really jagged that, but look at how clean that throw was. No flutter whatsoever. Had a lot of grip and purchase, but still into the breadbasket of the receiver.
Well, I don't think there was ever any doubt about Hayden Irish and his offensive abilities, his throwing capabilities. He's always been pretty good with disc in hand.
Got to say, how happy of Fyshwick that he's decided to don the black and orange. And so we at the halftime, we'll have to get the story of that. Now, this Truder character, what number is he?
So Simeon Truder is number 7 for Fyshwick unit.
Right.
You're looking for the resemblance?
Yeah, I'm just trying to suss
He's much taller.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not unheard of. But yes, Pierce Truder, the person we're talking about, who was on the Australian Dingoes from 96 to 2004.
And then spent a good amount of time coaching as well.
Yeah.
After that.
I'll tell you, great connection with Irish there.
So
no good. Yeah.
We're getting a visit at the moment, so.
Oh, hang on, the one in the end zone? No, that wasn't a foul. He leaned into him.
So Hills will go on offense here as Atienza now the reset. Ma. Now Hills. Ooh, that's a close one. Atienza. Hills, it's a very clumpy looking offensive set. Kikuma, oh.
So we saw an almost repeat of the previous throw for a goal. But the positioning wasn't quite right. It wasn't there.
Oh, Hingy likes something. He's just going to launch this. And Kikuma has read it well in the end. As Jordan King just getting twisted underneath.
Yeah, he got caught underneath that one.
Hills going fast. Oh, Mile Hingy just arriving. That non-stop engine.
I thought there might have been a bit of contact there, but the receiver happy with it. But again, I think on this zone line, both teams decided to get the hell out.
Oh, now Irish is going to launch well. This time looking for Noah Coda. Right at the end of the end zone. Signals goal. Fyshwick unit are now up a break.
Okay, well done. The battle of the chipping upfield and upwind versus bombing it downwind has worked in their favour. We've got a timeout here.
Hills have decided they're going to bring it in and talk it over.
Yeah.
And it's an arm wrestle at the moment.
It is an arm wrestle. But you're seeing the quality of the throw. Even to Miles out probably too much. Irish here, just the right amount of touch. He had to give it a little bit of edge just to leave it sitting for his receiver. But well done.
I think Hayden Irish is just, he set it to 100 and let it rip. I don't think there would be too much left in the tank there for Irish. I think that's pretty much a max range throw because he had to get it a long way down the field. The wind helping him a little bit. So they benefit from a
that number 7 here. I'm going to quickly just go and find out if there's any relationship whatsoever.
We need to know. We need to know. We're too curious. Because we are at that time in Australian Ultimate where some second-generation players are possibly starting to make their way into the community. There's a couple of... And a shake of the head as John Greenfield goes over and asks him a very strange question. I'm sure young Simeon Truder has never been asked, are you any relation to this random guy? So what's the verdict, John?
No relation, unless Pierce has got some South African roots.
Yeah,
I think we can draw a line under that one. Is Truder actually Dutch? We'll get back to the etymology of Truder. But no, Mile is the voice in the huddle over here for Fyshwick. So it'll be interesting to see what he's doing there. And we've got Mark McClay feeding Hills Ironbark booty here on the left of the commentary box. I wonder what he's saying, of course, there.
One of the real sharp up-and-coming stars. You know, very, very highly fancied and well-respected.
Yeah.
Well-respected. Plays for Sunder.
Yep.
Still in his early 20s, so
yep.
career for him.
He's also tried out for Beach, so in the Beach Ultimate world, we have World Championships reappearing for the first time since 2017.
Yeah, wow.
And they are in Portugal in November. We just had the tryouts for the Australian teams last week. Mark McClay was there, looking good, so it'll be interesting to see what happens with him.
And he made the Dingoes as well, I think, didn't he?
Well, yeah, that's right. He's just coming off a successful Dingoes campaign, another bronze into the cabinet. So I'm just going to quickly find out what Miles said here. Hang on.
And while John Greenfield is reconnoitering and doing the recon, see the Hills huddle. Great to have, you know, someone like Mark McClay, Div 1 player, you know, plays at a very high level, just coming across and giving some of his perspective and getting around his home club. I think for Hills, they're not too far off the pace here. And there's a lot of really good things that they're doing, a lot of real positives that they're bringing to the game.
All right, so Miles' message was reduce the physicality. That's interesting, isn't it? Yes, there was a little bit of contact, but that's something that they're focused on, and that's a very positive thing for a team that's, you know, still in the, you know, 6-4 is still a tight game, and you're asking people to reduce their physicality. Usually it's a, come on, boys, let's freaking smash them. But
it is, isn't it? In men's ultimate, sometimes there's a bit of aggro that machismo, but it does
increase your physicality is normally a call, you know. But the other thing is to also be smarter so we don't have to run as much. Now, that's an interesting call. That could be interpreted in many ways.
Yep.
But obviously, they're wanting to play a little bit more short ball, which is at odds with Miles' long throws. He's wanting to stretch the field, seemingly, which would encourage people to run long. And I think now we're seeing just this little huddle between the captains that they're probably talking about the level of physicality right now.
Which, I mean, I don't think there's terribly much to complain about, because I think this is more just preemptive, saying, you know, make sure we're on the same page about everything that's going on.
Yeah, you can see that this is a very amicable conversation between the team. So, but I might just, I'm going to go and talk to McClay and get his thoughts.
Okay. Well, John Greenfield runs and does some more reconnoitering. We're ready for the second half to begin. Robert Hooper there with his hand in the air for Hills. And Fyshwick unit still making their line call. So Gillett to pull now. Tasia settles underneath it. Hooper back to Tasia. Krishna Tasia has the undercut, decides not to give it to him. Alan Brody. This is Ryan Kotaruzman. Banganay. They're starting to roll. Lau. Hooper in a lot of space in the near side. They're getting what they want. Banganay. Hooper. Looks for some clarity in the end zone and then drops it over the top. Bradley Lau with the score. And Hills. That looks really good out of the timeout. 6-5. They needed that, and they need to turn around and play some good defense now, I think. As we approach an hour played, There's not going to be terribly too much time for them to haul in any kind of deficit. So keeping it close, and if they could get the break here to bring it back to an even score at 6 apiece. Strategically, I think that's something they need to aim for. I hope that hammer better executed that time. All right, Greenie, what's the verdict?
Yeah, so Mark was telling him to trust the process.
Trust the process.
Trust the process.
I love the process.
It's a bit of a.
That's a bit of a Fyshwick-ism.
It is a bit
about the system.
But I know what he says. Yeah, sometimes they're working it well, and then there's a trombone in the violin section, and there's a bit of a. And part of the reason, as we discussed, is their inability to get to the reset early enough, and then by the time they do on stall 7, it becomes really, really hard. Often the dump is open earlier, but if you give them another couple of seconds, that Mark has set up to a really hard situation. So earlier resets will really help these guys, and just as Mark said, this game's being streamed thanks to the wonderful people at ULTI.TV. And if you haven't subscribed, get onto it now, especially if you are a player taking advantage of this, i.e. Hills, Ironbark and Fyshwick unit. If you haven't signed up, sign up now. Cup of coffee gets you the year. They'll be able to watch this back and learn a lot about how their offense is performing.
Oh, that's a very nice pull by QQ Ma. Drives Fyshwick unit back in their first pass. The defense is now on Irish around the corner with a high release forehand.
No look.
Gillett, Irish. Again, the high release flick, creating some width. Rashid Khan. Irish to Gillett.
I would have caught him travel on that.
Slow him down a bit. Bring him back. Gillett back to Irish. And Hills sticking with this zone. Oh, that's going to create problems. Khan just playing through it. As Juan was coming across, Matthew Juan.
That was nice. The win was in their favour. Again, I think with Rashid Khan and Irish at the back, you've got a really stable base to distribute and find the gaps in the zone there. Even though that was quite spicy there, wasn't it? Right at the end.
I think Rashid Khan turning around to make comment as well. Probably along the lines of, hey man, be careful.
Yeah.
Don't kill me.
Yeah, that's right. But I'd say overall, Fyshwick looking a lot more composed. So we've heard the halftime chats from both teams.
Well, they were timeout chats, John.
Well, that was a long timeout, wasn't it? That was a 5-minute timeout. But both teams probably needing it this early in the season. Doesn't matter. You're really trying to learn about each other and find out what to do. So I'm really keen to see if Hills Ironbark here can go back to trusting their process, seeing that beautiful offense point that we saw earlier where they worked it and then finally got the reset with a break that flowed to the end zone. And can they trust their resets early? This will be really interesting. Got the downwind. There's no reason they just can't walk this in.
Ryan Cotter-Rusman's bringing. Daniel Banganay's been really good. Egan Conway.
Yeah, these guys are all got skills.
Krishna Teja. Mitchell Chan. The lefty. Gets it to Conway. Here's Banganay. Cotter-Rusman. Has something, looks for it. There's numbers in the area. Bursting House.
Oh, Bursting House read that very early.
And he kind of shuffled his way through some traffic to get onto it. Here's Truder. Bursting House. Unit going backwards. Oh, and the pass and the bid. Shepherd. Conway. Carter Rusman. Banging A. Doing what he does. Finds some space.
Boy, the Fyshwick defensive stand there fell apart. There was 3 options that were completely open there for the final goal. Burstinghouse, having done a fantastic job on D, then goes for a difficult inside out and knew immediately that he just got the wrong edge of it. And I think the next time he goes for that throw, he'll do it a lot better. It would have been better if he was able to find an outside-in backhand. But in the end, it was an outside-in flick that made it too hard for his receiver.
And we've been talking about throws and dynamics of the disc in the air and how when you do throw that outside in into the wind, it gets it down fast. See, there it worked against Burstinghouse because it pushed that disc down and away from Shepherd, who was cutting across. Needed to be that inside out into space, or like you say, the outside in backhand, which again holds that disc up in the air.
Yep. When you show the wind, the underside of the disc, trouble follows. Okay, but now we've got this unit offense line that's showing more and more composure. They're going downwind. We saw a zone put on which they carved through with only one, iffy hammer.
I think that Hills really need to trust their match defense. I think they need to go to match, and they need to send someone young and enthusiastic at Hayden Irish, because allowing him time and space with the Frisbee is not paying dividends for Hills at the moment.
Couldn't agree more.
Here's Mile Hingy. Potentially an important point. Khan sees something. It's Shepherd going, and Shepherd trying to keep it in.
Khan, that was the right option. He just didn't respect that little bit of breeze. It pushed it far enough out that Shepherd had to try and go for a greatest.
Shapers makes such a difference in that throw. If he thrown that from the middle of the field, that is a beautiful huck because it sits and it allows the receiver to catch up. On the sideline, it needs a bit more dog. It needs some outside in to keep it in bounds firstly.
Yep. Well, we're just talking about that, not showing the backside of the disc.
Okay, Hills. Atienza under into collapsing space. Cheng. Looking. Again, inside they go. Hills working it off the sideline with a combination of passes. Brody, that is a rush throw.
Oh!
And Brody coming screaming through. I think these young guys I think he's a player. Conway. Cheng. Back to Hooper. Hooper, Atienza's wriggled free in the end zone. And
Take a foul.
That is a break for Hills to bring it back to 7-all and Galaxy point.
Now, grab that point. Yeah, ULTI.TV has provided you with the perfect training platform and replay that point again and again because that was beautiful. You trusted your resets, Ironbark. You had a great play. Okay, that was a hokey pass, but look at the beautiful, what's his name?
Alan Brody.
Alan Brody coming through, taking a great grab, and then poise and patient to get to the end zone. And watch this little in and out for the goal. In and out, beat the receiver. It was a lovely throw that just sat up, could not be dropped. That was one of those passes where you can just stand there and clap a few times before you even catch it.
Yep. I think Noah Coda.
No, it's 7-all.
Noah Coda, young defender.
Galaxy
there.
point, boys.
Young defender working on Atienza in space. I think Coda needs to realise the situation that he's in, and it just needs to respect everything. Play tight on all cuts. And rather than get sucked in, baiting on the under, just play with...
66 minutes, Dan. We're in.
So not too far away.
Yeah.
As we've It's 11:36 here, local time, in the beautiful Port Stephens region of the mid-north coast of New South Wales.
We're at 67 minutes. But when this stops, it'll be 7.
Some miscommunication there as Irish lets it go, and oh, that's a massive, massive play. Alan Brodie has just got a huge layout block.
We talked him up, Dan. He's delivered 2 points in a row.
I think this kid's a player. I think Sunder might be paying attention to this game because there might be a letter. Oh, no.
Oh.
Christian Tasia has given it back. Eden Conway climbing up, trying to get it. Irish goes fast. Elmas goes back to Irish. Ashik Khan sees something. It's low. Truder. It'd be a heartbreaker. Footwork by Khan like that. Go the other way. Irish. Khan around the edge. Burstinghouse.
Hills with a 3-man cup match behind.
I think they need to go to match here. Otherwise, Hayden Irish is just going to do this.
Oh no, they've still got the cup. I think you're right. They've got to go to match here.
Irish, the 1-2 with Khan, keeping the stall count low. Burstinghouse stands off to the left. Irish, oh, it's too much. Khan did so well. He tracked it down and then made a meal of it.
He just got ground stripped up. I think his elbow just knocked it out of his grasp.
Christian Tasia just needs to take it easy here. Understand the situation. He laces one into Daniel Banganay, who's caught unawares. It bursts out of his grasp.
This Galaxy point becoming so important for the outcome of this game.
In the context with soft cap looming, not long to go. Irish, I think Hills have finally gone match. Irish finds the reset to Ashik Khan. Khan, the dominator movement. Conway and Brodie combined with a really nice switch. Irish spots something, goes for it. It hovers. Alan Brodie again with a block.
This is Brodie Town in this game. There is no stopping this man. He has come up with 3 big plays in 2 points.
He's everywhere at the moment.
That one a goal saver.
I think that there's a Div 1 team that needs to get a hold of this Alan Brodie kid because he is looking like a player. Conway, oh, he shuffled. He was adjusting his grip and he was thinking, do I launch this? He goes to his second look. Banganay now to Tasia. Banganay with a something throw that Daniel Burstinghouse is going to break up.
Yeah, that's what Dan can do. He's a good read of the disc and he's tall and he's got praying mantis arms and legs.
Tall and skinny drink of water is Daniel Burstinghouse, and a really good Frisbee player. He's got good game sense. Finds the right spot as Boyce gives this up. This time it's Eden Conway getting a block. Oh, the heart is racing, Sean. They need to take a breath and slow down. They need to understand the situation. They're not far out. All it takes is good offense from here. Conway with the Frisbee in the red zone. They're milling around. They need some Irish is just going to launch it into space and makes a good throw in the end. Unit are going to have to run to try and get past Kota Rusman. Backs off to ensure that they keep containment. Truder.
Oh,
Truder.
What a finish to that.
It's Fyshwick unit. Alan Brodie down on haunches. He did everything he could.
Wow, we had some gassed players there. There was back and forth. There would have been about 5 turnovers each in that point. On Galaxy point, we saw Hills with the disc, twice, 3 times in the red zone, unable to find structure that created space for the winning goal. And this craziness here. Well, there you go. That was a Brodie layout block. That was incredible.
Off the pool, John.
Off the pool. And, I hope the team don't dish him for not going for the Callahan there.
Well, I mean, anytime you get a block off the first pass, I think that's the dream of any defenseman, is to be put in that position. And we see so often, like, the defense won't bid on it because they're like, oh, maybe I'm too far away. But Brodie just committed. And I think that this is where, you need to realise the good and the bad. And I think in that point, so much good for Hills. And just the small stuff that's letting them down at the moment. And it's games like this that it teaches you things. You learn, that was a rush of blood to the head. Oh, that was too quick. Oh, that was the wrong option.
Yep, I was standing in the wrong spot.
Yep.
That's another one. And Hayden there, the experience there to wait his moment. Actually, I thought that long shot was gone because the defender had actually caught up to Truder, but for some reason wasn't able to close. And I think Hayden also just looked at the height mismatch and went, well, you know what? Everyone is gassed. This is worth a shot here. Went for it. It paid off. And then Ashik Khan, as I said to you, he's a thrower of lots of skill. Look at this little inside, across the body, across the defender, throw for a goal. That's hard to stop. That's a little bit of X-Factor class, and that's got him 8-7 at halftime.
Well, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with what remains of this game, which won't be much. Fyshwick unit are out in front against Hills. Ironbark, it's turned into a great one, so we'll be back with the conclusion of this game shortly. So with only 3.5 minutes left to go in this game, it's been a fascinating one, to be honest with you. these two games, they often throw up just really interesting matchups because they're close and there's mistakes. And in some ways, that's a weapon by Saul Shepherd coming this way. Look, buddy, he's just yelled it's coming back, and I think that the appropriate response to that is not a puller.
Yeah. Maybe he meant himself coming back as a puller next season.
He'll need a do over there. So, big point for Hills. They lost the gut-wrenching Galaxy point, but they're back at it, so they'll have the chance to bring this to 8-all. And with soft cap so close, I do think that having it at 8-all is where they want to be, because maybe some just with that one or that maybe 2 points to get. QQ Ma. Cheng. Back to Lau. Kirk. Really soft zone for Fyshwick unit. Standing off the mark at the moment.
It's real Swiss cheese, isn't it? There's so many holes in it.
Reminiscent of one of those zones that Fyshwick tried with no mark. That's to the inside of the run of Harrison Kirk. QQ Ma doing real good to maintain containment. Here's Shepherd. Wonder if he's any relation.
Yeah.
I think he's a bit...
I don't think so.
Warwick isn't old enough, I don't think.
No.
Atienza gets that disc back. And it pops up in the air. Well covered by Jedediah Cheng. Lau. Now Kirk.
Well, they've gone to match. Now they've got their locks on. So, but Hill's unable to take advantage of that momentary confusion.
Again into traffic. Gillett gets in front. Critical moments. Irish summing up the field as he walks to the disc. And then it's just going to go outside in, looking for Hingy. That's real bladey. Atienza.
Right, that's probably the worst option that Hayden has shown us in this game.
Yeah, return to sender on that one. That one went to the wrong address.
Yeah. Address unknown.
Pressure moments.
Now, looks like they're going to reset their zone here.
I think they need...
Or is it? No, they're sticking with match. They're just getting their matchups right.
In the pressure moments, it is match. Match is what wins you games. That's what gets you stall pressure.
Yep.
So Lau, a nice in and away that bounces out of the hands of Cheng. Hayden Irish, this time in the red zone. Decides not to put it in the end zone. The give go Irish looking for Hingy. Jumps it in.
Very nice. Again, just the cool heads of Mile and Hayden. And Hayden, of course, will tell you, I was punting for position, because they did get the turnover in the red zone, and Hill's unable to get out of their red zone. We have seen a little bit with Hills, just technically not great catches off the chest. It almost seems like they're unable to catch them in front, and they're letting him they're bouncing off the chest. It's almost like the disc, they're trying to catch it too close to their body. That is also clean up at their trainings.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those skills, isn't it, that when you're first taught to catch, you're taught the clap catch, but then as you play more and you evolve more, you realise that you're not supposed to catch like the belly of the disc. You're actually supposed to catch the leading rim.
Exactly.
And part of that is, you get your thumbs interlinked and you try and catch that leading edge so that you can stop the spin. When it comes in hot, it gives you a better chance, because if you're trying to catch the belly of the disc, chances are it just bursts straight through or it spins out of your hands, because all the weight of the Frisbee is in the rim.
Yeah.
So that's where you got to catch it. You catch it anywhere else, like there's too much inertia that you're not in control of. It's away from your point of control.
Yeah, look, I call it the anchor. You got to work out, and every player I'm an anchor on the right hand, so I let the disc come in and anchor onto my right hand, and then I clasp over the top with the left. But you've got to understand that, and you've got to understand how you catch. That's something that Hills can do.
Tasia back to Kota Rusman, who's had a good game. Banganay. Conway's going to test it. Tasia's in the end zone. Tasia brings it down. Fyshwick unit bring it to 9-8.
I thought Conway had overcooked that. He is down now. Now, let's just see. I'm hoping that's just a cramps. Let's have a look. I think it might be cramps. He really had to put the afterburners on. I thought Conway had overcooked it. I was really impressed by the speed and tenacity to track that down by Taser, but he might be suffering for that now. Early in the season, that's a big run. Let's see him burst here. He just goes.
You see, he's going as well. Before Conway gets it, Tasia's going.
That is a great catch. And he's
Still
seen him pull up there. I'm worried that could be a hammy. I saw him just pull up rather abruptly at the end of his run. So I'm concerned that we could be dealing with a left hamstring rather than just cramp. And looking the way he's just walking off there gingerly.
Looks stiff, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's not good. Because this is the first game and he's a key player for them. Oosh. And Conway, I'm putting it straight onto you, buddy. You didn't need to lace him out like that. Give the guy a chance. Look at the enthusiasm here from the Hills players. They've come out to support their D-line and catch what the play is and what the force is. You know what can be frustrating as a player when you do that? You're showing your enthusiasm. You're taking your knee in front, and invariably the D-line don't tell you the force. It's the last thing they are. And they go, oh, finally, you could have told me that at the start. It's force flick. Well, thank you very much. I'm off.
No, point.
It's a point before. It should be a game to 10, but you may want to clarify.
Confusion reigns.
Yeah. I haven't heard the soft cap blower. I think that's the confusion there.
Oh, well. They'll figure it out. Oh, there's another turnover. And something I want to talk about, and I'll come back to it in the break between the points, as Ronnie Atienza, another player who's had a really good game for Hills. Lau breaks.
This is better from Hills.
Emery gets it sideways to Cheng, and then Lau inside throw. That's nice. This time Matthew Huan, Lau, and there's Emery in the end zone. Bring it to 9-all.
Well, take a bow chow, because he anchored that offense and got the key inside breaks in that offensive run. You can see why he's a leader on this team. These are exceptional. This is the style they want to play. Open the field up. Don't take the hard throws, take the easy throws. And that's exactly what they did there, Hills. We've got 9-all. I'm just going to double check as what they've decided. I'll go and find out for you, Dan.
All right, John. We'll be back with the verdict here as to what they're playing to. Sounds like a game to 10 is the call. John, I want to bounce something off you, because it largely doesn't matter what level you're playing at. The situations of the game stay the same, don't they? If you're 1 or 2 points down, whether you're playing at Div 2 or Div 1 level, you still need that kind of same mindset, don't you?
Yeah. Well, and a famous call is it's always 0-all, because you can only influence the point you're on. And because there's no 2-point play, or, say in BBL where you could decide, hey, now we want to go to power surge. There's none of that in Ultimate,
Thankfully.
Yeah. Well, there may be in future iterations of the game. But
maybe I'm just old, John. I'm showing my age. That's not how it used to be in my day. But yeah, like you've got to win the point you're playing, don't you? And unless, well, the game's still going until the game ends, and they've got to score. If they're going to win the game, they have to score. And if you just keep going, it gives you that chance. You've still got that chance.
And it's always been said that it's one of the great things about our game, that you have to win the point in order to win the game. You can't just
run out the clock.
Run out the clock, and that's huge. And that's also protected the clock, hasn't it? It means that teams can't deliberately try and run the clock down. So it's another good thing about that system. Unlike Swiss draws, mind you, where that can happen. And also in Boracay, on the beach tournament there, sometimes you'll see the teams pull a disc into the ocean, knowing that the clock will run down. Anyway, that's another story. Here we go.
Tactics and strategies. So 9-all, game to 10.
9-all.
Universe point. And a great opportunity for all these players to play in a high-pressure situation. Next point wins. Shepherd.
Oh!
A no-look.
Wow!
The Hayden Irish that has to lay out, but saves it anyway, as Hooper as well bidding with him.
Clutch play from Hayden Irish.
Sheik Khan. Gillett. Now Shepherd. Shepherd gets up the line. Irish. Now across to Sheik Khan. Unit finding their way through. Daniel Burstinghouse. Khan. Hayden Irish. Irish reaching it out to Khan, who's on the break side. Deep in the red zone. Irish gets up the line to create the opportunity. Gillett. Here's Khan again. Khan proving instrumental. Khan still with the Frisbee in hand. He needs to reset it. Finds Hayden Irish. Irish gestures to Truder up the field. That gets the space for Khan to work into. Unit, Hills, out on their feet. Khan to Shepherd. That's the win.
Wow.
Fyshwick unit get it done. And 10-9 the end of the score. What a game this was. Hills Ironbark. They brought it all the way back.
Yeah, it's what a great game to call, wasn't it? It was close most of the way, ups and downs. I think both teams are pretty happy with that. It's early in the season. I am worried there for the chap. What was his name?
Christian Taser.
Christian Taser. I hope he's okay. I am worried. But look, a fantastic game. And Fyshwick showing the composure. And it was Khan and Irish that were pretty much anchoring that offense all the way to the end zone. Khan in particular, what I like there, he did a dump there to Irish. He immediately looked upfield and moved because he wanted to then find the next option. Irish got him on a break. That was the key break that got them to within the scoring zone. And then a beautiful break for the goal. Lovely stuff.
Well, we're going to wrap it up there. We'll be back with the next game here shortly from the Gold Cup, the unofficial official start to the men's season and the women's season here for 2025. It promises to be a cracking day as it's great conditions for Ultimate. So on behalf of ULTI.TV, we'll be back again soon.
ULTI.TV.
I'll find out.